Hello and welcome, everyone. We are excited to have you join us for our Spotlight webinar featuring the Department of Urban Studies and Planning. We hope you are as eager as we are to hear directly from their exceptional faculty and staff. Let's dive in and discover what makes UC San Diego's Urban Studies and Planning truly unique. Before we get started, there's a few important reminders. Please use the Zoom Q&A feature to submit any questions you might have. Our dedicated staff and faculty will be responding to all of your questions in real time. The webinar will last about 45 minutes, and while we do our best to answer every question, with time constraints, we might not be able to get to every single one. If your question does go unanswered, please feel free to reach out directly to the department or contact undergraduate admissions. To enable closed captioning, go ahead and click the live transcript icon and select Show Captions in your Zoom toolbar. We thank you for your understanding and hope you enjoyed the session. Now, it is my pleasure to hand over the spotlight to the Department of Urban Studies and Planning.
Hello, and welcome future potential Tritons. If we could go to the next slide, we're going to start with introductions. Oh, sorry, this is our agenda for the day. We're going to start with introductions, and then we're going to have an overview of the real estate and development and urban studies and planning majors and career paths. We'll talk about some department highlights, and then there will be a Q&A about our academic programs in our department. Admissions will provide some additional admissions information, as well as information about how you can connect with UC San Diego and explore campus.
Hi, my name is Dawn Murphy. I'm the Undergraduate Student Services Advisor for the Department of Urban Studies and Planning. Welcome.
Hi, my name is Jennifer Eller. I'm the Director of Student Professional Development and Industry Relations.
And hi, my name is Rachel Lapidus. I work in the Dean's Office in the School of Social Sciences as Strategic Program Manager, creating new academic programs for our students now and in the future.
And I've also listed our website, which is usp.ucsd.edu. You can find a lot more detail about our majors and our minors and our co-curriculars on our website. So I'll be giving you a high-level overview of that information. So our department offers a Bachelor's of Science in Real Estate and Development, a Bachelor's of Arts in Urban Studies and Planning, and we also offer minors in both of those subjects. Our department is a smaller department, but we're on a growth trajectory. What that means for students is it's still small enough to feel like a community. Our classes are taught by leading practitioners and award-winning educators and researchers. Our first major I'm going to talk about is our real estate and development major. This is our newer major. It began in 2018. It started off as a minor and then developed into a full major. It is a Bachelor of Science, and at this time, it is the only degree of its kind in the UC system at the undergraduate level. It provides a variety of perspectives for understanding how real estate impacts the ways people live, work, and enrich their lives. And students take hands-on and theoretical courses in economics, business management, urban planning, real estate finance, real estate law, urban design, and more. One thing that's really amazing about this major is it culminates in a 2-quarter team-oriented project-based capstone. And I'll talk about that a little bit more in the next slide, but student teams present their projects to industry experts, as well as at our signature annual event, Urban Expo. We also have an amazing board of real estate and development professionals who lend their advice on the direction of the program and offer opportunities for engagement with our students, such as providing development sites for us to tour or coming to speak to our students. I listed most of the classes that are required for this major. I didn't list every single option in every class, but the classes in italics are the lower division classes. So those are usually the classes students start with. So we have some core classes in math, microeconomics, accounting. We have some intro classes within the department, such as Intro to Real Estate and Development, as well as applied urban economics for planning and development. When students move on to their upper division courses, they take a variety of classes, land use planning, real estate and development law and regulation, planning and development, finance and investment, market analysis, as well as sustainable development and planning. Students complete a technical elective. We have quite a few options for that, such as site analysis, urban design practicum, intro to green building. And then students complete upper division electives, and those classes come from the econ department, the Rady School of Management, or our planning and real estate courses. What I like to, when students are talking to me about comparing different programs, this advice goes for undergrads and students looking at grad school. What I highly recommend doing is comparing the actual classes that you would be taking. There are other schools in San Diego that offer real estate and development, but we each have a unique spin on the classes that we think students should be taking. And the fact that our real estate and development program is housed within the Department of Urban Studies and Planning versus a business or finance school gives it a unique spin, especially on that focus of land use planning and site analysis and site design. The capstone studio sequence is based off of a industry competition called the NAIOP University Challenge. And what this is students take these classes, the Finance and Development Studio 1 and 2, during their senior year. And in the second quarter, they are put on teams and they are given a real life site in San Diego. And within those teams, they have to research the zoning, the possible uses for that site, and then they have to come up with the highest and best use for that site. They have to do their market research. They have to figure out how many parking spaces they could put on it. They can figure out if the grading is going to have an issue for the design. They have to come up with branding and eventually do the financial analysis of how this project could be completed financially. And the end result is a investor brochure and a design charrette that students present. So the studio is a really great way of having students take everything that they've learned in their other upper division classes and then putting it together for a real live stimulated situation of, if you had this site, how would you develop it? What are the different considerations? And it's a really great opportunity, and it's usually, it's not required of our minor, but it is a part of our major, and students always say that it's one of their favorite aspects of that major. Next slide, please. These are some quotes that we've had from previous students. Since the red major is under the USP department, it provides a very holistic understanding to real estate, not just in terms of learning about financial and market analysis, but also the broader community context and land use regulations. I also like that red uses San Diego as a learning and living lab where students go out and do site visits. It's very practical in that it helps bring in real life projects and you get to work on real life sites in San Diego. I'll let you read the second quote on your own, but a lot of our classes do take students outside of the classroom into the San Diego community, and we have quite a few co-curricular opportunities to do that as well. Next slide, please. The other thing I advise students who are thinking about going on to their undergraduate degree is to think about what is going to be your next step, because college is not the final step. It's just the next step on your career and your journey through life. And so I like to think about, well, what can you do with this major? And these are some of the common career paths related to our real estate and development major. We have development, brokerage, and leasing. So let me back up. Development is taking real property assets and either ground up building something new or taking what's already existing and redeveloping it for improved purpose. Brokerage and leasing is trying to help sell, buy, and lease property. Construction management is the project management of construction. Architecture is helping to design the buildings that get built. Corporate real estate investment, property management, acquisitions, and more. So there's quite a few areas that students can go into after they graduate. We also have students every year, a handful go on to law school because they want to practice real estate law. And we also have some students that switch. So we have students that major in real estate and then they end up working in planning. And same on the other side, some students major in planning and end up working in real estate. Next slide. Our urban studies and planning major has been around since 1972. It used to have a different name. I think it was like rural and city planning or something. I don't remember. That was before my time. It is a Bachelor of Arts degree, and it provides a variety of perspectives for understanding the development, growth, and culture of cities and the communities within them. Similar to our real estate and development major, classes have theoretical instruction as well as hands-on courses. For urban studies and planning, students take classes in land use planning, real estate, community development, community engaged research, urban design, and transportation planning. This major culminates in a 2-quarter long self-directed capstone research project where students present their research project to industry experts and also at our annual signature event, Urban Expo. Next slide, please. For the urban studies and planning major, it is a bit more of a choose your own adventure within some parameters. So this is just kind of a sample of the classes students take. On the lower division requirements, we do have a stats requirement for understanding research. That's the practice of planning research. We also have Introduction to Geographic Information Systems, GIS, that is frequently used in planning and transportation planning. It's a software. And for the upper division classes, we have courses such as land use planning, history of urban planning and design. We have other foundation classes in the history of, planning theories or intro to urban planning. Students take a research methods course because they will be completing a research project for their capstone. And so a lot of those research methods classes do have students going out into the community to complete them. They also complete a technical elective such as Advanced GIS or Urban Design Practicum that focuses on design. And they have a variety of elective options for upper division, such as classes in environmental studies, history, poli-sci, sociology, real estate, planning, and visual arts. This major culminates also in a 2-quarter long capstone, but it's a bit different. It is individual research, and it also requires a 100-hour internship. So students are expected to obtain an internship. We support them in their search and trying to get opportunities available to them. But I love that because it makes students think about, the career planning aspect of their college degree. And then they choose a research question that is related to urban studies and planning. And this is a really great portfolio piece for students that are, thinking about their either going on to grad school or as a research project to talk about with potential employers. It's a very intense 2 quarters, 6 units. Most of our classes at UC San Diego are 4 units, so it just shows kind of the vigor of that. And based on the student output of this project, I would say it's almost graduate level research that they're doing. So it's a really great research opportunity. Next slide, please. These are a couple quotes from previous students. I won't read them all. I'm going to jump to the bottom one because I think it kind of illustrates the flexibility of the major. I'm excited by the numerous opportunities that I have due to my USP major. I could go into politics, policymaking, data science, GIS, public health, design, architecture, research, academia, and more. There are so many complementary fields and careers that I think I could not have had a better baseline education from any other major for my interests, at least for undergrad. Yeah, we have a lot of students that major in urban studies and planning that also do minors or double majors in some of these areas. Poli-sci, if you're interested in politics and policymaking, visual arts or structural engineering, if you're interested in architecture. So it's a really great way. And in terms of elective options, we do have quite a few different areas that students can choose electives, and we've kind of grouped those on our website, if you explore our website, based on career paths. So students are interested in transportation planning or environmental planning or city planning or housing and affordable housing. We have laid out for them, these are the elective classes we recommend you take. Next slide, please. So some of the common career paths related to urban studies and planning are land use planning. So that's like thinking about city planning. So, how are cities adapting and changing and planning for growth or economic opportunities, environmental planning, economic development, transportation planning. So that could be with agencies like SANDAG or transportation agencies or cities. If you live in San Diego, you know that the trolley expanded to UC San Diego in the past 2 years, and that was the work 30 years ago of some hardworking transportation planners getting that study and plans in place. We also have students that go into architecture and go on for their Masters of Architecture after graduating with Urban Studies and Planning, students that switch over to real estate, law, public and community health, and nonprofit management. Next slide, please. We have 6 amazing student organizations, and these student organizations have different focuses. It also helps make UC San Diego feel like a smaller community by finding people that have this similar interest to you. So 3 of these are pre-professional orgs, and that includes architecture at UC San Diego. That's the bottom left photo. Rogers Garden, that is a community garden here on campus that students can volunteer at. Student reps, those are liaisons between students and staff and faculty, and they do an annual survey to get student feedback because we as a department value student feedback and hearing from students how we can improve things. Triton Real Estate Organization, that's another pre-professional student org. Urban Changemakers, they are the top right photo. They are focused on placemaking. So making places feel like a place you want to go, whether that's by adding art or notes of inspiration. And then our final pre-professional org is Young Planners Society, and they're the photo at the top left. That was actually a affordable housing tour that they arranged. The photo on the bottom right is a real estate site tour that we did of an affordable housing complex in San Diego. So yeah, student orgs are a great way to explore career options on the pre-professional side or just build community all around. Next slide, please. We do have some amazing resources for students. We put a lot of time and effort in these, and I think our students know that they're some of the best department provided resources on campus. We have an undergraduate blog where we highlight opportunities and events, not just on campus and within our department and our student orgs, but also professional associations that we have connections with and opportunities for research and attending conferences. We have subpages for internships, jobs, and scholarships. We believe heavily in students thinking about their professional development as a student. We also do a student newsletter, and we have an Instagram account. The QR code on the left is our blog. I invite you to go on there and see some of the opportunities and workshops that we're putting on. The QR code on the right is our Instagram account, which doesn't have as much info as our blog, but is also a good resource to see some of the department events that we host. We have 4 centers that are tied to our department. Bioregional Center for Sustainability, Science, Planning, and Design, the Homelessness Hub, Urban Planning Research and Teaching Hub, and the newly formed at UCSD Labor Center. What this means for students is there are great research opportunities. We have quite a few students that work in these research centers alongside faculty doing research. Other research opportunities, I mentioned our USP capstone is an individual research project. We also offer an honors thesis where students can do a additional research project after their capstone if they'd like. Next slide, please. Quite a few of our classes offer experiential and community engaged learning. I'm going to highlight the photos that we have here. So on the left, that is our Life Scholars program. And students have gone out into the community and put on events for people living in senior living centers. I think they did a senior prom a few years ago. The photo in the middle, the middle is our Climate Justice Action Scholars Program, where students got out and they were involved with, I believe that was a community garden project. And then the photo on the right was our NAIOP team. And I mentioned this before that our real estate and development capstone is kind of based on this NAIOP competition. Well, the NAIOP competition is NAIOP is a professional association, and they have a competition here in San Diego. We compete against San Diego State University and the University of San Diego. And I am proud to say that we brought home the trophy in 2024, as well as in 2023 and a few times before that. So that was a photo of our winning team there. Our department has a very strong emphasis on internships and career planning. We have a specific advisor, me, that can help you with career coaching. Most departments at UC San Diego do not have their own. I think actually most academic colleges don't have their own department specific advisor. It's usually Central Career Center only that helps students. But we believe that it's so important that we have a staff position for that. And that helps support our USP capstone students who are required to get a 100-hour internship. But really, we recommend all of our students, both majors, both minors, at any grade level, any year, are focused on interning, whether it's during the school year or summer. It's a really great way for them to explore career options, find out what they do like, what they don't like, get connected to industry professionals and find mentors. And it's really my goal as a career coach for the department to help students think about their career as early as possible and not wait until when they're graduating. We have close ties with local professional organizations. I serve on 2 professional association committees. One is CREW San Diego Community Outreach. So CREW is Women in Commercial Real Estate. The other one I serve on is American Planning Association, San Diego Young and Emerging Planners Organization. And so we have close ties with those organizations and more. We also have the pre-professional student organizations that I mentioned, and I put on a variety of events throughout the year, such as alumni and industry speakers. In fact, today we had a visit from MetLife Investment, where students got to learn about working in debt and equity on the real estate side. We have company info sessions. We do site tours. We did a site tour of a new life sciences development in Sorrento Mesa in the last month. It's called Sterling Bay. That was a really great opportunity for students to hear from the developer and the construction team. We have connections with mentorship programs. I put on workshops such as resume, cover letters, internship and job search, and more. We have panels and mixers. Tomorrow we have a student mixer with our advisory board of real estate professionals with our students. And then the new thing that we have is we actually are requiring a 2-unit class that focuses on professional development and industry speakers. And this came out of a student survey. So these classes already existed and they were optional for students. And on the student survey and in the town hall, students said, these classes are great. It would be even better if you made them required and incorporate more professional development so that we have to make our resume. We have to do these cover letters. We have to understand and start practicing informational interviews. So we have started making those classes required. It's 2 hours a week, half guest speakers, half professional development. So it's really setting students up for success. And it's a great way for students to explore career options by hearing firsthand from people who work in those fields. Next slide, please. Study abroad. We do have quite a few students that study abroad in both of our majors. We have a department to department semester exchange program with Bauhaus University in Germany, which is a leading international design school. So every year we send a few students there, and they send a few students to UC San Diego. UCSD offers summer global seminars, and these are 5-week-long summer classes with the opportunity to take UCSD courses abroad with UCSD faculty. And our faculty have led summer seminars to the Netherlands, Bali, and Germany. And you can see the photos on the right. Those are from, I believe that the top one was from a trip to the Netherlands, and the bottom one was a trip to Germany. Students can also go through University of California Education Abroad program and more. We've had students study at the University of College London. We also, it's not quite studying abroad, but I wanted to mention here, there is the UC DC program, as well as UC Sacramento programs, where students can study in DC or study in Sacramento. I believe the DC program, it requires students to get an internship, and they're also taking classes there, and they get academic credit. We've had a few students do that, especially if they're interested in policy or just exploring a different part of the country. They've said great things about those programs. And last but not least, I wanted to throw in, we have an amazing GIS visualization lab. This is not my area of expertise. We have a GIS lab manager, Chris Palmer, and this is his workroom that he has set up for students to go in. They can use plotters, laser cutters, carvers. There's 3D printers. This has been really great for some of our design focus classes. There was a previous picture of our architecture student org. Every year they pick a part of campus to envision a redesigning of. And they will actually present that project to our campus leadership and planners. And so they've done 3D models of their design iterations, and they've been able to use that. So it's a really great opportunity. It is used as part of some of our classes, but you don't have to be in one of those classes to take advantage of it. And now is the opportunity for questions about the Department of Urban Studies and Planning, or about either of our majors, the Real Estate and Development or Urban Studies and Planning majors. If we don't get to answer your question live, feel free to email us at usp@ucsd.edu. And yeah, I'll just...
Thank you, Jennifer. We had a couple of questions come in. The first question is, how common is a double major with USP? And what are some common double major disciplines?
Yeah, great question. So for USP, we definitely have quite a few students double major. We've had students double major with urban studies and planning and real estate and development. Other ones that we tend to see are poli-sci or environmental systems. Trying to think what else. We've also had students double major in just something completely different that wasn't related to urban studies and planning, or wasn't part of a career. I know we have a student right now, I think he's double majoring with French, and he went and studied abroad in France, and he just added that major because he loved it. On the real estate and development side, we usually see students with either double major or minors related to business or entrepreneurship, marketing, international business, accounting, urban studies and planning.
Thank you. And then another question we saw had to do with the Urban Expo. Can you give us a better sense of what that experience is like? Who's there? What's the vibe? What is the student experience like in the Urban Expo?
Yes. Yeah, so Urban Expo is our signature annual event. It happens in week 10 of winter quarter, so that's March. And so that's when our two senior capstones are wrapping up all of their amazing work, their group projects and their research projects. We rent out the UC San Diego Price Center Ballroom, which is a huge space. We have posters. So all of our research projects and our design charrettes each have a poster in either a group poster or an individual research poster. And students get dressed up. It's a professional event. We invite their internship supervisors. They are allowed to invite friends and family, partners, bring their children. And this past year, we also opened it up to highlight some of the other work happening in our classes. So we've had classes and our research center show student research. So for example, one of our lower division classes has, they create a story map, which is kind of an online imaging. And we had one of our instructors pick kind of like the 10 best story maps, and she had a booth or a table where students could like click through and see the different story maps. We had some student researchers working within the homelessness hub, so they also presented their research. And for perspective, we had over 600 attendees. So it's a very big event. It's also just a very exciting time, especially for the seniors that are wrapping up 2 quarters of very intense, amazing work. There's just kind of this energy of like students, they see their poster there and they're like, oh my gosh, I did that. I'm about to graduate. It's just this really cool feeling. And yeah, it's usually like 3-4 hours long on a Thursday towards the end of winter quarter, and it's open to the public. So if you happen to be in San Diego on, I think it's like March 13th or something of 2025, it's on our website. I'm forgetting the exact date. Feel free to come by. It's in the late afternoon, early evening.
Thanks, Jennifer. That was really painted a picture, I think, for everybody. We just had a question come in. I'll read it out live. How difficult would it be for a transfer student accepted as a USP major to take real estate and development as a double major without having completed the real estate development major transfer prep requirements before transferring?
Yeah. So it would really depend. Some of those transfer prep classes are probably overlapping with gen eds that you would have to complete anyways. You are allowed some overlap between your majors. So you can overlap as many lower division classes that there are to overlap. So there is some overlap in the lower division requirements. And then on the upper division requirements, you can overlap up to 2. So it would be doable if you don't have a ton of other gen eds to complete and you came in with a plan. Also, it might require summer classes depending on it, how many courses you come in with and you still have to complete. The other option would be to major in one and minor in the other. I would say that's definitely doable as a transfer student. But when I'm talking to students when it comes to academic advising, my advice is plan early and map it out. Like literally do a quarter by quarter plan where you're like, okay, these are the classes I'm going to take fall 2025, winter 2026, spring 2026. And then, map everything out so you know what it is, and also look for overlaps. So for example, our USP1 class fulfills one of the university requirements, the DEI requirement. That it's possible. Does not offer a major in architecture. What we typically if students come to UC San Diego and want to do architecture, there's some other things that they have to keep in mind, such as looking to see what the Masters of Architecture programs that they're interested in require as prereqs. So sometimes those master's programs, they'll require a physics class, a drawing class, and a history of architecture class. So you could complete those here at UC San Diego. The other thing is we have our architecture student org, and I think taking as many design related classes as possible will benefit you. I think it's UCLA and UC Berkeley offer summer programs that are open to, I think, all UC students or just all students to apply for. And we've had quite a few students do those. It gives them a portfolio that, like, they come out of it with a portfolio, which is used for applying to a master's program. Yeah, so it's definitely doable. Like anything else, preparation is key. So if you come in as a USP or red major, you definitely want to try and take as many design classes as possible.
That was great. And maybe as a final question and a reminder for everyone, what would be the best way for a prospective student to get in touch if they come up with another question that they didn't think of today or want to discuss further, like their personal quarter by quarter plan, maybe even before applying?
Yes, so if you have questions about our department or our majors or transfer prep, please reach out to us at usp@ucsd.edu. Questions related to general UCSD admissions, I of course will defer to our admissions team.
Awesome. Thank you so much, everyone. Before we sign off, we want to provide you some important information on the application timeline. The application is now open. You can apply today. You can apply to any or all 9 undergraduate campuses within the UC system. The submission period runs from October 1st until December 2nd for the fall 2025 cycle only. We do highly recommend applying to multiple campuses to increase your chances of admission. The application fee is $70 per campus for domestic students and $80 per campus for international students. Fee waivers are available through the online application, and they can cover the fee for up to 4 campuses if you qualify. For our decision dates, first-year students will receive admission decisions by March 31st, and for transfer students by April 30th. The deadline to accept your admission offer for first years is May 1st and June 1st for transfers. Do keep these dates in mind to ensure that you don't miss the opportunity to join our vibrant Triton community. Don't forget to connect with us. We have a variety of events listed on our events page. Be sure to check out and register. Stay informed about these amazing opportunities that are coming up. We also encourage you to subscribe, to our email newsletter. This is where you'll receive the newest, latest updates to our events. Email is a really big way that we communicate with prospective and admitted students, and we don't want you to miss out. The best way to experience our campus is through our guided tours. We highly encourage you to visit and hear from firsthand from our amazing campus ambassadors. They are current students, current Tritons who's can express to you about their experiences and insights as a student on campus. If you're unable to come in person for a tour, don't worry. We also offer a really detailed, awesome virtual tour, and you can explore the size and beauty of our campus from anywhere. We'd love for you to follow us. We are on Instagram, X, Facebook, YouTube. There are a lot of helpful YouTube videos on the application process, YouTube videos on a day in the life of a Triton. Connect with us on social media and your preferred platforms. Don't forget to tag us in your posts if you do come onto campus for a tour. We'd love to see your content and maybe even feature one of your posts as well. If you'd like to explore more helpful resources, we do encourage you to check out that YouTube page again, as it does have a lot of relevant videos that you can review at any time. Awesome. So with that, for any inquiries about campus tours, events, undergraduate admissions, or the application process, we do encourage you to contact our Office of Undergraduate Admissions. The best way to do this is to use our Contact Us form found on our website. You can also check our website for our office hours if you would like to phone in a call. That's a wrap for our webinar today. Thank you all for joining us, and we wish you a wonderful evening and good luck with your applications. Take care.